Hey guys, welcome to another video. I know a lot of my American followers know that right about now is college time. Whoop whoop. So everyone's choosing where they want to go, and it's kind of crazy. And now that I've finally wrapped all of that up, I no longer have to worry about any of it. I wanted to show you guys the portfolio I submitted and that got accepted into a bunch of colleges. So I'm applying for a bunch of graphic design, interactive design, any sort of that umbrella. It's a lot of different names for the major, so it's kind of weird trying to find which ones you're looking for. But for context, I applied to about 9 different schools, and I got into 8 of them, got waitlisted at 1. So not a bad lineup at all. Some of the schools are easier to get into. A couple of them, I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm really excited for where I'm going to be ending up, and of course I'll be taking you guys along with me when I move in. I'm going to keep making videos, so you'll see that. Just wanted to kind of go through my portfolio, talk through some of the choices I made, talk about why I added certain things, why I omitted other things. And I did end up going to a portfolio day ages ago now, before I submitted any of this stuff, and I'll also talk you through some of the advice I got from the people at those portfolio days. So without further ado, here's my portfolio. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you guys through kind of everything I put in my portfolio. I'll put pictures here and then kind of talk through it. I'm gonna start with the stuff I did in my graphic design class and then move on to things I did outside of class, so you kind of have that more professional setting and then the more freelance sort of setting, I guess. I am lucky enough to go to a school that has a very nice graphic design program, and it's mainly just because the teacher is so great. He's like absolutely wonderful, such a funny guy. So in graphic design level 2, our whole year project basically is choosing one musician, and then we create a whole portfolio of promotional materials and merchandise and like tickets and all this sort of stuff, as if we're their merch and like promotional manager. So knowing me, I mean, I chose Coulter Wall. I'm quite literally wearing his t-shirt right now. He's the best. Got him up here, and I got 2 more pictures of him up here. A little obsessed, but it's okay. I also got whatever. The first thing I did was I made a music magazine. Now, not all of these pages are the best, but my favorites, personally, I love the cover. I just think it has a lot of fun text going on. It's got a lot of different colors that work well together. I think the contrast on some of the little things could have been better, but I think overall it works really well. I'm really happy with it. Then we had to go in and make like a 2-page ad, which could be anything you wanted. So I mean, obviously I'm gonna go with Stetson for a country music magazine. I feel like that's a bit of a no-brainer. The next page would be another half-page ad and then table of contents. So I threw that together. This isn't like my best work, but the entirety of the magazine, I'll just flip through it on screen here. You can see it's just figuring out like text wrapping and basic collaging stuff and putting together basic design elements. I thought it was a good way to introduce the project that I had to do for my graphic design class, and B, kind of show where I started and kind of how that influence kept going throughout the rest of the project. I think then the next thing we had to do were these little tickets. I have some others, I don't know where they're at the moment. This was the one I put in my portfolio. So it's like a little just show concert ticket. Again, it is still very beginner graphic design, but I think that's a good thing to show. Like, yes, I'm making these interesting choices and I'm trying out all these new things, but I still have a lot to learn. So it's not, oh, look at me, I'm perfect at this in every single way. I'm still learning, but I'm experimenting. Then next we did some posters. So I used a little Wacom tablet and I drew this, and I'm still really happy with it. I think it looks really great. The rendering I did on the hair, I think is pretty spectacular. I'll try and zoom in on it if I can. The one thing, I wish I'd gone in and fixed up the hand, and the guitar looks a little janky, but I think this was really great practice for rendering. It's something I hadn't really done that much of, and I think it just looks really nice, and the text I did looks really cool. Yeah, at that portfolio critique day, that's some of the advice I got, was fix up the hand, a couple anatomy things. To be fair, the lady who gave me that advice was more of an art teacher. That was the thing I didn't like about that. There was only one guy who was really critiquing for graphic design specifically, so he's the only one I really listened to when it came to actually putting my portfolio together. He was from Drexel, and they have a really great program there. I didn't end up applying, but I would, if you like living in a city, that's a great school. Next up, we have some t-shirts. So I took the line art from the poster, I popped it onto a t-shirt, changed up the text a little bit. I think it looks really cool. It looks very similar to this shirt I'm wearing. I do realize that after. But I think it fits the style. And then I did this little shirt here. Again, it's fun, it's cute. Being able to start with an aesthetic and keep a similar or like sort of line of aesthetic throughout the whole year, I think is a very important skill to learn, and just being able to continue on with a long-term project was very helpful for me to figure out. And we did a similar thing at the start of this year. Maybe I'll do a video on that, talking about some of my other graphic design projects. But yeah, that is the stuff I submitted as far as my graphic design class goes. And this next segment will be more personal projects that I worked on outside of class. Okay, so I want to get this one out of the way first. I have a couple of these paintings here, and they're just like acrylic landscape studies. The first one here, I took a picture of like that actual landscape, and then I painted it when I got home, which was very fun to do. But just doing these sort of studies, doing them in person, I think is the most important. But just getting those landscape and life drawing skills, it's really important. My major is going to be a little more computer based, so it didn't really matter as much, but just having that skill and knowing how to put colors down and how to differentiate things using like hue, saturation, brightness, all that blah blah blah. The basic art stuff. You get it. Next, I'm really proud of these. I have a couple little character turnarounds. This is in the style of that one Tyler Childers Country Squire music video. I adore that video. It's so fun, it's so cute. I had to draw myself in it. So having that sort of turnaround looking thing, I think is impressive because it's a good skill, especially if you might be going into more character design based things or what have you. Being able to make consistent turnarounds is very helpful. I have another little reference sheet here. Again, it's not like the most impressive thing in the world, but it's got some facial expressions. It's got consistency to the other one I drew. I think it's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of these. I don't know. I wanted to include them just because I can't just not have my style in there, because I feel like my style is fairly unique. And I put in some of the t-shirt designs I did for my school. I've done a couple of these. I'm really proud of this one. Nice big tiger, the school colors, some cherry blossoms. I think it just looks really clean, really nice. Kind of shows my evolution from one year to the next, showing how I've improved upon my old art. And also just like, I'm doing things for the community. I'm not just doing things for myself. I think that is kind of important. I don't know if people necessarily are looking for that, but I feel like the more you can say about yourself in your portfolio, the better. Don't just have a bunch of still life drawings or paintings of whatever. Have things that tell people about who you are, and I feel like that will start to piece together your portfolio a lot more, instead of just being incoherent mumbo jumbo and it tells you that, oh, I'm very active in my school community, which schools, of course, are going to enjoy seeing that. So that was a lot of fun. Other stuff I did for my school, I'm very active in theater. So I made a bunch of posters for our student-run theater programs. So this was for our one-act festival, for our 24-hour play in a day type things. Just these sort of nice hand-drawn posters. I'll put a couple more up here. Another one we did, fun fact, so my friend texted me at like midnight. He was like, hey, James, can you make another poster for 12 Angry Jurors and we need it by like tomorrow? I was like, oh, okay, man, thanks. I'm not name dropping, but if he sees this, he knows who he is. So I did a drawing with like 12 people in it in 24 hours. And it looks pretty good, so you can't hate on it too much. Again, that kind of shows you like still fairly basic graphic design stuff, but it shows this level of illustration that I put in my work and just this understanding again of colors and how to make posters kind of pop out and grab attention and really just convey, of course, conveying actual information like show dates and what the show even is, but also using the illustration itself to do some of the heavy lifting there. And then last but not least, I put some of the prints I made. So there's this t-shirt print that I carved out of linoleum. So fun. Oh my god, I love linoleum prints. And then I have this one. So proud of this one. You guys don't get it. This is like the coolest print I've done. And I've done quite a few. And I gotta work on a couple more. This is all like Tyler Childers stuff, but this is from his song Purgatory. Love that song. Obsessed. Oh my god, y'all don't get it. I think just kind of throwing in some sort of curveball where, okay, all of the other stuff I've been doing is digital, or I have those like 3 paintings, so painting is kind of a basic medium. Just throwing in a bit of printmaking, I think that really helps elevate your portfolio. It takes it from like here, maybe right here, just because it's showing you're not stuck to one medium. You can break out of the computer, you can get off the canvas, you can figure out other ways to do things, and especially printing it on t-shirts. I love doing stuff with textiles. It's a lot of fun. I make a bunch of patches and pins and crochet stuff and what have you. I just think having that sort of showing, hey, here's a cool t-shirt I made, or hey, here's a cool hat I crocheted. I don't know, just like if you're skilled enough in a more niche medium, I would throw 1 or 2 on there. I think it is helpful to show. Hopefully that made any sense. Hopefully you guys didn't just get bored to death. If you want to see some of my other more recent graphic design stuff, let me know. I've been doing a ton because I have all of this year's graphic design class stuff, which consists of 2 major projects, and then I've got a bunch of like other paintings and whatnot. I've been doing a bunch of graphic design stuff just on my own. I have even more posters from play stuff I did this year. But yeah, like I've been doing a bunch. And also, I kind of want to make a little video of if I were to remake my portfolio, some of the stuff I would include now, because some of my old stuff, I mean, it's not bad. I would just put different stuff in there. Like some of my turnarounds or that one reference sheet, I've got some better stuff. Plus I have some cool like life study stuff now. I did a self-portrait with watercolor that looks awesome. And I think I've just gotten such a better grasp on certain art concepts. I mean, I've got my art all over my room. Y'all can't really see it, but there's stuff everywhere that's just things I made. And it's awesome. Most of them are actually on this wall here. Oops. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you like those t-shirts, I think 1 or 2 are still available on my Etsy shop, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I think that's it. Comment if you have any questions, and good luck with your portfolios. Bye-bye.